is the activity on inverse variation. The objective of this activity is to verify experimentally inverse variation using two different modes, one using craft paper and the second one graphically. Let's understand the concept in hand now. Inverse variation. For that, let's assume that we have two quantities x and y. Y depends on x, and if you try to increase the value of x, then y shows a corresponding decrease. So y is decreasing by itself due to the increase in x. And there can be a case where you are trying to decrease the value of x and the value of y shows a corresponding increase. In both cases, we say that x and y vary inversely. There are innumerable examples which you can give for this particular mathematical concept of inverse variation. How about time taken and number of workers? So if I increase the number of workers to complete a particular task, the number of hours they will take to complete the task will automatically decrease. And if I reduce the number of workers, the time will obviously increase. So the time taken to complete the task and the number of workers who are performing the task, these two variables show inverse variation. We'll be verifying this using the activity for which the material required are craft paper, geometry box, graph paper, a pair of scissors for cutting work, and glue for pasting work. Let's perform this activity of inverse variation now.
So in this activity on inverse proportions, we have taken a circle in which we have drawn some spokes. So if you draw only two spokes, which I have not shown here, if you have two spokes, then the angle between those two spokes will be a straight angle like this. So for two spokes, the angle will be 180 degree. How about this? When you have three spokes, you have three angles here, and these three angles, 360 divided by 3, it will be 120 degree each. How about 4? 360 divided by 4, that will be 90 degree each. And likewise, if you have 6 spokes, it will be 360 divided by 6, 60 degree, and for 8, you can find out it is 45 degree. Now, if you check, if you multiply the number of spokes and the angle between two consecutive spokes, 2 times 180 is 360, 3 times 120 is again 360, and you can see everywhere the product of N and A is going to be 360 degree. That shows that the product of NA is same in every case. So it means that as the number of spokes increases, its angle between two consecutive spokes decreases, and this is a clear case of inverse variation. Likewise, we can have another activity based on inverse variation. So you can see here we have drawn a matrix here. This is 4 units and this is 3 units. So how many parts does this matrix have? If you observe carefully, we have just one part here. And if there is only one part, then the area of this part is 4 times 3, which is 12. So 12 centimeters square. And now we have divided it into two parts. So what is the area of each part? This is 3 and this is 2. So this is 6. And this is also 3 by 2, which is 6 centimeters square. So area of each part is 6. Likewise, if you divide it into 4 parts, the area of each part is 3 by 1, which is 3 centimeters square. If you divide it into 6 parts, the area of each part is 2 by 1, which is 2 centimeters square. And if you divide it into 12 parts, then the area of each part is 1 by 1, that is 1 centimeter square. Now if you take the product of N and A, 1 into 12 is 12, 2 into 6 is 12, 4 into 3 is 12, 6 into 2 is 12, and 12 into 1 is 12. So the product of n and a is constant, and therefore if you increase the number of parts, then the area of each part decreases. So when one increases, the other decreases, and therefore the two quantities are said to be in inverse proportion. This completes our activity on inverse variations.